Okay, so I kind of forgot to film an intro to this video. Don't really know how I did that, but I just thought I would pop on here real quick and do that. As you can tell by the title, this video is a no makeup essentials. So pretty much what that means is these are the products that I use when I'm trying to do like a no makeup look, or a really fast makeup look, or anything that's just like the most basic, simple kind of, I want to accentuate my best features, I want to cover up like a zit, something that most guys, I'm assuming, like yes this is like a stereotype, but most guys probably wouldn't notice you were wearing makeup, that sort of thing. Not only am I telling you about the products, giving you like a little mini review and stuff like that, but I'm also doing a tutorial, and some of these products there's options for high-end and drugstore. I hope that this helps you out. I really hope you like this video, and please keep on watching if you're interested in everything I just said. Okay, so we're gonna start off with the basics. There's really nothing crazy in this look. Normally this takes me like under 5 minutes. So the first thing is going to be under eye concealer. Now I have a couple options here depending on what your issues are. For high end under the eyes, I would really recommend the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye. Mine's completely worn out, but it's so nice. It's a really thick consistency. I feel like it helps a lot if you're aging, if you have dryness under your eyes. It lasts really long. It's waterproof. It has like stuff in it to help with anti-aging too. But today my under eye bags aren't that bad. Something else you can do if you have really darkness if you have a lot of darkness under your eyes, I'm having a hard time today, is use a salmon-y kind of brightening concealer corrector, and this is the Pixi Correction Concentrate in Brightening Peach. Comes in this. It's this really nice like peachy color, and it really neutralizes under the eye, so I am going to use this today, and then I'm going to go over it with a skin tone kind of concealer, and my favorite for that is the Rimmel Wake Me Up. I love this one. I can never find it in the States. I think some people told me you could find it at Kmart, but I usually order this from ASOS, but it really brightens the under eye and it's not too heavy, so I'm going to use both of these, and then I just dab it, especially right in the inner area, like right there, and just push it in. I feel like with concealer, a lot of people rub it and like drag it, and that can actually not only cause wrinkles, but can just lift up too much of the product off. So I keep it mostly in the center because that's where the darker area is, obviously. Like look at this compared to this. Like just that little bit, like just this, if you just want to use this because you have under eye circles, would be like really great actually. But just for a bit more of coverage underneath there, I am going to take my Wake Me Up concealer and just dot it right there and a couple times on the edge. Okay, so my under eye already, like look at how much better I already look. That sounded really full of myself. I think you know what I meant. So now for the face. If you have spots or redness around your nose, I have a little bit because I have a little bit of a cold. 2 concealers I would recommend for this kind of thing, like for face, are Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer, which I really like. I think it's really great if you have dry skin especially. It's not going to break you out. I don't think it's too heavy. It blends really nicely, and this color is matching me really well right now. But the drugstore one I would recommend, a lot of people love the Maybelline Fit Me. I do, but I do feel like you can see it on your skin. And this one I feel like is a bit more invisible, but it does have good coverage and some Maybelline Better Skin. But it's supposed to be good for your skin. It's supposed to actually help it look better. Don't know if it does that. But I'm going to use this one today. When I do anything on my face that's spot related, I put it on the back of my hand first, because if you touch a spot, especially if it's like open or still has like bacteria, and then put the applicator on your face and put it back in, you're just making this like horrible bacteria. It's going to make you break out more. I'd say always put the least amount, because if you put too much, especially out of a container like this, you can't put it back in there, and even if you did, it would be disgusting. So take as little as you possibly would need, because if you take a lot, you're just going to feel like you need to use all of it, and then you're going to add too much makeup onto your face. But anywhere I have like a scar or like a red spot, I will just dab it, and I try to do like one area at a time, so that like if you leave it like this for too long, it'll get dry and it won't be blendable. And I just dab it. You never want to rub. You could obviously use a beauty blender, which I would recommend. I feel like it lifts up a lot of products. So if you find your makeup tends to look cakey, definitely use a damp beauty blender, because I think that really helps to lift a lot of extra product off the skin, but gives you a really natural finish with coverage. Already this side of my face looks so much better. It's like crazy. And now this isn't supposed to be full coverage, obviously. You know, if you're doing full coverage, you're not really doing a no makeup look. If you're asking me about it, you can still see my skin is not perfect. And then once I'm done blending all that, I just take my fingertips and just kind of push in, just to make sure everything's perfectly blended, because sometimes you don't really realize it until you're like out of the house, look in your car rearview mirror or something, and you're like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm walking around with like a big streak of concealer or something. We're gonna do brows. So I feel like brows are super duper important when it comes to a no makeup look, because I mean obviously if you have full brows naturally, don't bother, but I feel like even my brows aren't that sparse, but ever since I've been starting to do them, like ever since, I don't know, what's it, 4 years ago, I just have to do it. It just frames your face, and when I don't do it, I feel like I look weird. I just comb them up. I say Spoolie is definitely a must-have, 100%, to comb them all in the right direction. It's just so useful, no matter what kind of product you're using, a pencil, anything. Because my brows aren't that bad, I do use a powder, and the Milani Brow Fix Brow Kit is an essential for me. I've been using this, I don't even know how long. Love it because it has 2 shades in it, and I can mix them or just use one depending on if, like, whatever I'm in the mood for, a more bold brow or whatever. But it comes with a little angled brush that you can use. I'm gonna use a dark one on the end of my brow, and because you don't want the front to look too harsh or like you can end up just like looking angry, use a light one in the front. So I prefer powder to pencil. I just feel like it's so much faster. It's a lot more like foolproof. Like if you aren't great at your brows, a powder just looks more natural and like you're less likely to overdo it. It still does look dark now just because I don't have mascara on, because that just changes everything. Another product I've really been loving, if you have decent brows but you want to just keep them in place and make them just a bit more full, is the new Milani Brow Precise Fiber Volumizer. I really like this. I don't love the brush. It's like, I wish it was more normal. But I really do like this product. The brush, like I said, isn't my favorite. It does give a bit too much product. I have the shade Soft Brown, and then I just comb so lightly. Like, you can make this pretty messy. It can get messy, especially if your brows are any smaller than mine because of the shape of the brush. So I just really lightly comb upward to keep all the hairs in the right direction, because my brow hairs are really like annoying. So it's kind of like a gel, and it adds a bit of length too. So then I go back with the spoolie and just comb through real lightly, get any like extra out. And I know that sounds like a lot for your brows, but I feel like when you're done, when you see this look at the end, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, makes sense. Maybe not. Okay, we're gonna do eyes. So I'm not gonna wear any eyeshadow, but because no matter what I put on my eyes, they crease, I'm gonna use a primer. This is just one from Wet n Wild, whatever works for you. And then I think we're gonna do bronzer. Now, one thing I do that definitely isn't an essential, especially when you're doing a no makeup look, is a contour. Obviously, you don't need to do that. I don't normally do it all over my face, but I do it to my nose because I hate my nose. And last time I mentioned that in a video, everyone was like, no, you have a cute nose. Like, no, you're seeing me like a face on. When I turn to the side, look at that. It's like so gigantic. I feel like a character on Sesame Street. I just hate my nose. It's something I've hated my whole life. Like, everyone has that one thing, you know? And mine's my nose. So I do take this blush from NYX, which is the shade Taupe. It's like a very, very grayish color. Take this brush I have from Kat Von D that's just like very pointed. Dip it in there and then just angle it and kind of sculpt it the way I want it to look. I know I'm not doing this right. I know I'm not a professional at contouring, but it makes me feel better, and I don't know that makes that much of a difference. And then I just take my clean finger and blend it down the sides of my nose, because if I go inward, it'll look funny. For bronzer, I'm using the Milani Bronzer XL All Over Glow. It has an amazing dark matte bronzer for contouring or just bronzing all over. Also has this like more warm shimmery shade, which is nice if you have a more deep skin tone, and it'll give you a bit of a glow. I'm just gonna use a big giant fluffy brush, go in with the darker shade lightly, and then just go from under here and then just the forehead a tiny bit. If you put too much on, it's gonna look fake. That's what I used to do in high school. And you know, makeup in high school isn't always the best. I mean, nowadays it is, but when I was a kid, people still had an awkward stage. Next, what we're gonna do is take an eyeshadow brush. Real Techniques base shadow brush, anything like that, like a MAC 217, is that what it is? Anything like that is perfect for this. All I'm gonna do is take that bronzer, dark shade. You could also use this NYX blush thing, or pretty much whatever. You obviously could use eyeshadow, but just so you don't have to pull out a palette and look at it and decide on the color. This is always a great option if you want to define your eyes, but you don't want any color, you don't want it to look like you're wearing a lot of makeup. So I just dip it into that shade, close my eye, and do the outer V. Depending on your eye shape, do whatever suits you. Just blend, 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 blend. But just look at that. Look how much more lifted this eye is compared to this one. Just that tiny little bit. Another thing I like to do is wear blush. Blush is something I will always use. I'm one of those people who's obsessed with blush. If you're not, totally skip it. You could just use the bronzer as like a blush highlight kind of situation. I like using a more mauve colored blush. This is Romantic Rose from Milani. It's matte. I do prefer a matte blush just because it tends to blur your pores a bit better. It doesn't draw too much attention like to that area if you break it out or have big pores or something. I take a lot of blush. Whatever, don't judge me. It just really wakens up your face, makes you look more healthy. Look at that. I feel like my face is already so much brighter just from having that little bit of extra color. Next, we're gonna do mascara. Just use whatever mascara you like the best, whatever you're using at the moment. So curl the lashes. If you have naturally curly lashes, I hate you. I'm just using the L'Oreal Voluminous Million Lashes. So I don't layer it up a ton, but like look at the difference. just look at those two different eyes. Like this one, I look normal, this one looks a little bit still like sad. But it depends on your preference, your eye shape, all that. Literally just stab myself in the eye with the mascara. The only thing now is lips. Now lips, you could do a lot of different things with this. If you're trying to keep it natural, you could just use a tinted lip balm, you could use a lip stain, or you could use what I'm going to do, which is a lip pencil, and just blend it in really well. I feel like that holds really long. So I'm going to take the Makeup Forever Aqua Lip in 3C. You literally could use anything, whatever your like my lips but better shade is, would be great. You could use lipstick, but I do feel like a lip pencil just looks more natural. So I just did put some balm on my lips, and now I'm just going to kind of apply. And I'm just going to take my finger and kind of pat over it. Now, because I have oily T-zone, I'm going to do this step. If you have more dry skin, or you like a more dewy, kind of fresh, natural glow look, use a makeup setting spray or something like that, a mist. I'm going to use a matte powder. This one is from Milani. It's the Milani Light Medium Multitasker Face Powder. I also really like the Maybelline Dream Wonder powder. I'm going to take a brush, big, nice dome kind of brush, and just tap that in there, tap off excess. And I kind of push it, but I kind of like push and dust, if that makes sense. So tap, dust, tap, dust. Anywhere you get oily, I don't take it over my whole face. Easiest tutorial ever. I know it took way longer than it should have. And so this is something I would wear to run errands. Pretty much I would wear anywhere to work. This is a great work look if you're very kind of like simple with your makeup. This is the finished look, and I hope you guys like it. If you did like this video and you, I don't know, or had more questions about this, or I don't know, whatever, you know, give it a thumbs up if you liked it, leave a comment, whatever that may be, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!